This next bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner to my left. He's wearing yellow trunks with black trim. Tonight, a rematch 3 years in the making. Please welcome, from Boston, Massachusetts, Aaron Trecell. And his opponent, standing directly across the ring, fighting out of the red corner to my right. Wearing solid black trunks. His record impressive, 8-0-1 with 6 KOs tonight. He tries to avenge the only blemish on his record. From nearby Lynn, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen, James Perkins. 6 rounds, super middleweights.
Here we go, guys. This is just an excellent matchup between two. As you look at it, 2 undefeated fighters,
right?
With the only blemish on each of their record being the other gentleman giving them a draw. You actually don't see this happen a lot in boxing.
Not at all. Chris, I want to touch upon something that you said, and that is that Aaron is physically a big middleweight, because I've always been impressed by the size and strength of Perkins.
Right.
I mean,
and he makes he looks bigger than James in there.
Yeah, Perkins is usually the bigger, stronger man in
time
all
I've
of his
seen him
matches.
fight. Here we go, guys.
Perkins displayed incredible hand speed for a super middleweight in his last fight against Stephen Langlis. That's what really, I think, gave him the drop on a tough veteran like Stephen.
Right. I think he had one blowout knockout after the Stephen fight, I believe.
True.
But he had 2 knockouts, each under a minute, with Steve wedged in between, which was
much
a
lesser
war,
competition.
Maybe a one-sided war. But Steve was in front of him the whole time. I thought pushed James's cardio, which James proved. 6 rounds is well within his means to keep
Sean,
that hand
I
speed
like
up.
how Perkins has doubled up on the jab so far.
Yeah,
real
he's being
quick,
real
fast
patient
jab.
behind his jab, circling Aaron and working off the jab, feinting. And once he gets comfortable, that jab right now is winning him the round. And one thing I like about Perkins, once he gets comfortable, is he'll punch in combination. And every shot has purpose.
Yeah.
And serious hand speed, like Chris said, as far as a guy fighting at 168.
Yeah. He's a combination
175.
puncher, which with bigger guys you don't tend to see as much. And I think that may be the jump so far in Trecell. He seems to be going at a slower pace, not putting the punches together. Nice head movement, too, from Perkins.
Yep, setting feints and moving his head, being very patient.
Yeah.
That guy's a throwing leather, man.
That lead hook from Perkins is fast. That's the second time he's landed that shot, and Trecell
That was a good exchange, but I do think Aaron landed something solid in there as well. I just can't believe how physically big Aaron looks for super middleweight.
Yesterday at the weigh-ins, Aaron said that he's coming to win this fight. He has no thoughts of being the underdog or the guy from MMA that's taking on a boxer.
Yeah. Well, he knows what he's up against, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
Perkins
Perkins
shared the ring for
has
4
improved
rounds.
dramatically,
Absolutely,
in my opinion, over the past
Probably
2
not
years.
the same guy he fought, 9 fights ago.
I think Aaron would be served guys to bend his knees a little more and change heights a little more like Perkins is doing. Perkins is already taking advantage of getting underneath him in the exchanges.
Yeah. Perkins uses his level really nice, as you had mentioned there, Sean.
The only knock, though, that so far I could say on Aaron is his chin's a little up in the air. But other than that, he's very impressive.
He doesn't
He's not
look like
winning
an
the round.
MMA guy in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fight's been living in the middle of the ring. Oh, beautiful 3-2.
Perkins jumping in for that shot.
Good round for Perkins. The only thing I would like to see him do more is start hitting that body.
Yeah. Beautiful round by James Perkins. I think he showed Trecell very early that I am a better fighter than you remember.
Yeah.
But once Trecell gets used to the speed and can bring his own timing into play, that's when things are going to get interesting.
Right. Trecell, there was a combination there where it looked like he landed something, but outside of that, he didn't really land anything of significance.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens once he catches a rhythm and lands anything of any significance on Perkins.
Yeah,
but
but
Perkins looks like he takes a good shot.
Yeah, and Perkins, just a great pace. That's the other thing, that he started really fast in the Stephen Langlis fight. really fast, kind of banked those early rounds and got to a place where Langlis wasn't going to be able to overcome that deficit.
Right.
And I think we could be seeing that tonight. But 6 rounds is a long time when you were in there with a bigger man.
Yeah, I was amazed at the amount of punishment Steve was able to take in that fight and keep coming forward. But again, for Perkins, it just proved that he can push all 6 and lay it on you the entire time.
Absolutely.
His hand speed carried deep into that fight. We'll see if Trecell's chin carries like it does in the first, because he definitely wore some of those punches good, but I don't know how many of those you can take from James. Stiff jab, still scoring. Some body work.
There's some nice body work.
That was beautiful.
Perkins.
Body work right back.
That was a nice
little
little
check
Trecell, yeah.
Aaron looks like he's woke up a little, and he's starting to get comfortable in there. Nice body shot.
Yeah,
by
beautiful,
Perkins.
too, to the body. You don't see that a lot. And that's a good way to keep a bigger man at bay, is to keep sticking those 1s and 2s down to the body.
That's the only mistake I've seen Perkins make it sometimes right now. That's the second time he's lunged with the hook.
Yeah.
He's literally coming off his feet to throw it.
Yeah.
His jab, his body shots, everything is thrown technically.
Yeah, Perkins
having fun.
challenging Trecell to come forward. Which, oddly enough, is what you would expect from the MMA fighter, not the boxer.
Guys, every time Perkins lands a stiff jab, he stands Aaron up. He literally stands him up.
But Trecell's fighting really tall.
Really,
you had mentioned earlier getting those knees bent a little bit. You can tell he has heavy hands, but those hooks are those really wide kind of clubbing hooks. They're,
I don't think he's sitting down.
More of a roundhouse as opposed to a real tight one.
They're loud, but I don't think they're having much effect on Perkins at this point.
And I think Perkins feigning and moving his head has kind of discouraged Aaron from trying to really lead. To me, guys, it looks like he's just trying to counter.
Counterpunch.
But he's trying to counter with bad intentions.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Nice
I think Perkins looks sensational so far tonight.
Looks really loose in there. Looks calm.
I'm really impressed with the head movement, the shoulder movement. He's just not giving him a steady place to throw a shot.
Oh.
I wish he would have doubled the jab there. I think the right hand would have landed had he thrown 2 jabs.
But the follow-up jab after the 2 landed. Oh.
And I think that's
the first time this entire fight they've held.
Yeah. I think that's what Trecell wants. I think he wants to stand there and throw some big shots and try and land something, but Perkins is fighting a real smart game plan.
Super experienced, legendary referee Johnny Callis in there.
Yeah.
One of my favorite referees in all of boxing. I've gotten to know him. He's a great guy and a great ref. Another 3-2, Kyle.
He's landed that twice.
You hear in this corner saying, get back to the stick. Because Perkins has a good jab when he uses it.
Another good round.
Yeah, another solid round for Perkins. He looks sensational tonight, guys.
Man,
I don't think Trecell's
Aaron is
discouraged.
huge.
Yeah, that's a big man. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live at the Castleton. We are on our second fight of the night. James Perkins from Lynn, Massachusetts against Aaron Trecell in a rematch of both of their pro debuts, which ended in a draw. Coming up next, we have Cretan Krause, who's taking on Michael Alvarez, 2 pro debuts. Jordan Yanton versus Michael Taylor. Kenny Larson versus Ryan Clark in a rematch. Nikki Tejada against Javier Torres. Shayna Fabiano versus Leanne O'Malley. And then, of course, our big main event for the title, Brandon Higgins and Nick Molina. We thank you for joining us. Super electric. I mean,
this
can't even
place
say
is as packed as I've seen it.
Yeah, you can't. To say standing room is not fair because there's no room to stand.
Right.
Full house from all angles. People still pouring in. It is just an exciting night. The Thanksgiving Eve Spectacular is here. And so is round 3 with James Perkins and Aaron Trecell. Would you like to see anything from Perkins that you haven't seen so far? I mean, he's fighting a sensational fight.
I mean, like you
so
said, I
far,
think his head movement, that stiff jab when he throws it, he went to the body a little that round. He must have heard Sean's request. I think he looks great.
I think he looks like a complete fighter tonight. I don't know if he could be doing much better in this situation.
I mean, I think Aaron is just
a
monster for this weight class. I mean, he's wearing these shots well, but I mean, James is landing, and James is avoiding getting hit with anything big. You know, in those exchanges, he's pretty much taking the center of the ring.
And he's keeping a nice pace, but he's not rushing anything. Right. You know, he is controlling the fight at his pace. And he, beautiful! He caught it! There it is! Caught him clean!
Big overhand right.
Monster overhand right! Trecell down on the knees. Let's see if he can make the count. He says he's okay.
He's got to get up, though.
He made the count.
Smart move.
Look for some fast combinations from James Perkins. What a stunning overhand right.
Wow.
He caught Trecell with that hand, that lead hand out in the distance and went right over. He's going to look to finish this.
You'd imagine he'd have to.
Trecell holding on exactly as he should.
And I love that Trecell stayed down until the 8 and stood up. Guys jump up, you know. And
stunning he was even able to recover.
Right. Oh, left hook.
Perkins on the hunt.
Another. He's not on wob. He's a right hand landed too.
Oh, beautiful hook
left
to the
hook
body.
To the body.
Oh,
I think he's just off balance.
Back on the jab.
Nice jab.
Oh, another overhand.
He almost cross-stepped there.
Perkins is firing at will.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
He can't get sloppy, though.
Back to that jab. Perkins might be a little punched out just for the time being. He'll regroup.
Yeah. Trecell doing the right thing, backing up and holding.
See Perkins take a deep breath, though, there, guys.
His corner's yelling at him to get back to that jab. They want him to be responsible in there. It looks like he's settling back down. Trecell's legs still aren't under him 100%.
He's regrouping much better than one would think after a shot like that. I mean, that was a brutal overhand right.
Yeah, he actually caught himself trying to get up too fast
and
went back down to a knee. It's very rare you see that, and it's impressive.
Props to the referee who you were just giving props before for, you know, counting him out, you know, not
giving him a fair count instead of waving it off.
And he got up. He's back. Oh, good overhand.
Behind the jab, though, Kyle.
Yep. Just basic 1-2.
He's in love with that left hook, but I think if he shows the jab, it'll hide the hook, which will set up the right hand or the hook.
Yep.
Gotta be careful of that 45.
I thought it landed behind the shoulder. Right, belt can't be saved by the bell, right?
Gentlemen, I think that was a slip. He took a shot, but he slipped after the shot. I mean, it's going to count as a knockdown.
Yep. He's good.
Yeah, I think that was more of a balanced knockdown.
It's going to count as a knockdown, as it should, because it was a punch.
10-7 round, though.
Yeah, you're right. That's a 10-7 round. Trecell's in a big hole. Perkins just exploding in that round. What a shot. We've seen two big knockdowns so far tonight.
Every time I've seen Perkins, he's exciting, and you want to see him again.
Of course, yeah. How could you not? I mean,
it's going to be really interesting to see how Trecell recovers, because he could have taken the easy way out there. That was a massive shot. You know, not
and he
a lot
waited.
of men
He waited
would
till
get up
8
from
or
that.
9 to stand up, but that's smart. You know, you don't get any points for getting up earlier. You might as well recover, and I think that's what he did, giving himself that time.
We should notice, though, Perkins is breathing very heavy. Very heavy.
I was just thinking the same thing, Chris.
Yeah.
Perkins has every advantage. The only advantage I would say Aaron has is he seems a little less fatigued. He's not breathing as heavy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he hasn't put the output that Perkins has put out either.
Yeah, and Perkins missed a couple big bombs in that round, and that takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
Getting dropped and hurt like that also takes a lot out of you, so I got to give Aaron his due.
Right.
Because
you got to. Aaron's clearly in shape. You can't.
Well, I
can't get hurt.
Back,
you can't get hurt like that and bounce back if you're not conditioned.
100%. Yeah.
I'd like to see Perkins get back to that jab.
His legs. He looks like he's completely back.
Yeah. That lead hand of his, though, he pulls it out there. He lets it hang out there. I mean, he kind of needs to get back to a traditional hands at the chin boxing stance, because when you're in there with somebody as fast as Perkins, he can beat you back to your own chin.
Right.
That's probably the best jab he's thrown all night there, Aaron, right there. I agree 100% with you saying. He's just pawing it there for the first time. It's almost like he heard you. He shot a real jab.
And he's a big man with long arms. I mean, you know, a jab would be really effective.
Neither guy doing much this round so far.
I feel.
Perkins
looking for that overhand
again. Yeah, Trecell slaps with that hook.
Yeah.
You know, if he would tighten that up a little bit, I think it'd be a lot more effective. But
where I feel like James isn't wasting any punches.
Yeah.
You know.
You get the feeling that Perkins is being smart about his cardio right now.
Right.
And attempting to, but, you know, buy a little time. He knows he's in complete control of this fight. There's no need to go across the ring. And
at this point, scoring 2 knockdowns that last round, winning the first round.
Yeah. He really hasn't lost a second of this fight.
No.
He's looked sensational.
And Aaron isn't looking to do anything as far as leading. So if Perkins isn't doing anything, Aaron's totally content with that. The only time Aaron does anything with any bad intentions is when he's trying to counter Perkins.
But like you said, when he's countering, he's standing straight up, and it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot on those shots.
Yeah,
they're mostly arm punches, even though it's a big guy with big arms.
It's nothing you want to get hit with, but in there against a real high-level boxer like James Perkins.
James is throwing these shots
that's a very
with his
good
whole
point,
body
Kyle,
weight behind it.
Because I haven't seen him once turn into any shots. Strong guy, but arm punches.
Right. Yeah. Again, like you said, those levels and the feints that James is mixing in there.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah. And I think it's making Aaron think twice.
Yeah. That's something you see as a fighter matures down his career.
Right.
And Perkins looks great.
One thing you see from most of Joe Rashadi's fighters is head movement and some of the lost arts of boxing.
Right. And I'm a huge fan of Perkins' trainer, Joe. Broadway boxing in Everett, just a sensational gym. Great fighters. I mean, Greg Vendetti is obviously a local hero, fought for the world title.
Right.
There's other great fighters out of that
Great account
gym.
of himself against Arizona.
100%. Travis Gambardella. I mean,
Kenny Larson later on the card.
Yeah, oh my God, Kenny Larson, of course. You cannot underestimate the value of good sparring. And I think the frank reality is James Perkins is in there with high-quality professional boxers. And
There's no easy rounds in his camp.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing easy with Greg Vendetti.
Right.
You can't even have a dinner with that guy without something going bad, Bad and good, in a good way. But with that said, Trecell is probably not getting that type of boxing sparring. He may be getting that type of MMA rolling.
I'd be willing to bet you're right that he's not getting that quality of boxing sparring.
Yeah. When you see that speed, when you see that movement, when you see that defense, you're starting to see like a complete package, which is difficult when you're in a completely different sport and then you're trying to transfer over.
Right.
That's not an easy thing.
No.
I'm expecting, guys, this round for Perkins.
Yeah, I think he kind of coasted that round, got his wind back in.
Pick it back up.
Yep. Good to see you.
Perkins, right back to where he was.
Yep.
Shoulders
this
moving,
entire fight, I feel like,
moving.
has been in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Neither guy's been. Yeah. The only time we've been on the ropes is when James put him down into the ropes.
That was that fight in a nutshell. Perkins bobbed in, beautiful jab. Trecell was too slow, too wide with the counters, and Perkins is out.
Yeah.
And I love Perkins' jab. I just wish he would use it more. I think it'd make it an easier night for himself. I mean, he's totally in control.
It's landing it. It's every time he throws that jab, it seems like it lands.
That's the thing.
And that's not an easy thing to do on a bigger man.
Right. He's even landed that little up jab a few times from a different angle where he's kind of that shovel punch.
And it would also be the hottest punch for Aaron to counter. Of all the shots he's thrown, if big right hand or big hook is easier to counter than a jab.
Mm-hmm. That left hook just missed. Nice
Again. Wow.
Like Sean said earlier, it stands him straight up every time it lands.
Best shots of the night for
Best punches of the night for Aaron, though.
And he knew it, too. He had a moment there.
Even after that exchange, though, James turns him, and Aaron's the one holding.
Now, guys, in their original matchup where they both had their pro debuts, James Perkins, by all accounts, won the first 2 rounds and got a little tired. And Aaron Trecell won the second 2 rounds, and that's how we ended up with a draw.
Yeah.
Obviously, Perkins has improved, but Trecell's got a gas tank. I mean, he is still here. He is still fighting. He's still looking for an opportunity. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in these last 2 rounds.
First time I've seen James switch to southpaw there for a second. Brief, but
seems like he's trying a lot of stuff in there. Do you guys see that?
And that's a good point that you touched upon there, Chris. But one thing I'd say about that is Aaron doesn't put near as much out as Chris does, as Perkins does.
Yeah.
He looked for an uppercut there, which is a punch that I think Perkins may have success with. Obviously, not an easy shot to land, but
not
when he gets
something
close,
I've seen him throw a ton of. At least not tonight.
Yeah. he's really been establishing that real fast hook of his. That's something that a lot of people talk about. I remember Langlis said that's what took him by surprise was how fast his lead hook was.
Yeah.
I think his left hand in general is just very fast.
Yeah. He's a fun fighter.
No, like like Sean said, I mean, anytime you see him on any card, it's like appointment viewing.
Yeah.
For me, at least, I love watching. I love his style.
Mickey Ward's just arriving now here, guys.
Yeah, the local celebrities in the house. Mickey Ward ringside. Obviously, not only a legend in these parts, a legend all over the boxing world. Yeah. And a wonderful guy, too. Oh, that was a late shot.
It's all good.
That was a late shot.
James seemed all right with it.
Yeah.
Aaron didn't do enough to win that round, but I would say that was Aaron's best round.
Best round,
Agreed.
yeah. But so far, it's been a pretty clean shutout for Perkins. Perkins trying to get revenge for the boxers tonight after in our first match.
Right.
Laquan Lewis, a boxing veteran, was knocked out by a debut MMA fighter.
Yeah. The Afro Samurai, probably the best nickname we'll see on the card.
You get the feeling that the Afro Samurai is in a state of euphoria right now, and he will actually be levitating back to Rutland, Vermont tonight.
Yeah, and he's going to be coming back to Boston boxing as well.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if that was the last time we see him.
He will have a very happy Thanksgiving coming home to your family, winning your pro debut.
I wanted to point out, everybody that wins tonight, that turkey's going to taste a little better.
So much better.
Yeah.
I've been there, yes.
Yeah.
It tastes...
And
tastes a million times better,
it's
one of the things that to put a real human slant on this is it's a tough night for the loser. It's never fun to lose, but it's tough to wake up and be with your family and have to put a happy face on when you're down.
Yep.
And props to all of these fighters to take a risky fight on a night like this.
And our main event is with two undefeated guys on Thanksgiving Eve. I believe Brandon's 3-0 on Thanksgiving Eve, and Nikki's 2-0.
Okay, yeah.
So
they are veterans of the Thanksgiving Eve Spectacular.
Yeah, Nicky made his pro debut 2 years ago on the Thanksgiving Eve card. So one of those O's on Thanksgiving Eve has to go tonight.
The Thanksgiving O must go.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Trecell just winging big shots, just trying to land something to get himself back in this. Obviously, he needs a knockout at this point.
Good point, though, Kyle. He's starting to be, take more chances being busier. He's trying to lead.
Well, I'm sure his corner told him, hey, this is it. This is our last chance to win this fight. A tough man, though. I mean, if Aaron Trecell, I think, spent a little more time focused on his boxing, he would be a problem for a lot of guys in the area.
Yeah, first thing, just get that chin down, but he's very, very strong.
Perkins being smart.
Yeah.
Moving. There it is again. That lead hook, it just is it's dazzlingly fast.
And straight right.
If he would just bring something behind it, now.
Absolutely.
And he's kind of gotten away from his body attack, guys. And Perkins is a good body puncher. He's a good puncher, period.
Yeah.
Puts good combinations together, but he's kind of gotten away from the body attack.
Yeah.
I think he's seeing something in there, and he wants that lead hook.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But it's all about following up. You know,
Right.
I mean, that's what separates good boxers from great boxers. It's what you throw after the first punch.
Few good jabs landed there by Aaron.
I think Aaron's physical strength is just keeping Perkins just honest enough to the point where he's still in this fight.
Yeah. Good head movement there.
Yeah.
Way to get out of there.
That's one of those, when you're in the ring, Kyle, every once in a while you do something that even impresses yourself.
Yeah.
And you got to feel yourself for a second.
He was there.
Yeah.
Eluded all those right back to the middle.
But like you guys
Trading a little
said, like we touched upon earlier, that last flurry of punches by Aaron, they were all arm punches.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I got to give him credit for, he's barely breathing. He's in fantastic shape.
Yeah.
Well, just like Chris said, he's not getting the boxing sparring that James is getting, of course. But, I mean, he's training for combat sports every day.
And he's
so
been
his
in tough fights,
conditioning,
guys.
His conditioning is there.
Yeah,
and these MMA guys go 5 rounds,
His MMA fights have not been easy fights.
Right,
He's
no
been
walkovers.
in really hard.
Yeah.
He's a tough man. He's a well-trained athlete.
I mean, if you would have told me 2 or 3 rounds later he would have been in here with his legs under him after that
overhand right, I was surprised that he was able to recover from that. One last big shot at the end. Great fight.
Good fight. Great fight.
An impressive performance by James Perkins. He should be thrilled with that. He continues to impress. I mean, where he goes next, in my opinion, is so paramount to where his career is going to go. I think it's time to step it up a little bit because he's starting to show what you see from a really good fighter.
Right.
Right.
And I don't think he should take a step back next year.
No.
I don't think he
Right.
should get those freebie
He
knockouts,
avenged this, against a guy, that.
And you get momentum with that. In a fight like this was a step up, but instead of going back, step up a little more. This is how fighters grow.
I think the fight to make is the fight that was going to happen this summer, which was with David Tubbs, Ventura, California, Knuckleheads Gym. He was supposed to fight James Perkins, and for both men, it was going to be a big step up. They were going to roll the dice.
Yeah.
David Tubbs got a separated rib the days before the fight, had to pull out with an injury. I'd love to see if that could get made again, because that is a big man who gets great training.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be a little more polished as a boxer than an Aaron Trecell. I think he's going to challenge Perkins. Yet Perkins is still going to be the favorite. That's the type of fight I'd like to see James Perkins
But
in.
I would agree with you. It would be the biggest step up of Perkins' career.
And that'd be a barn burner.
Is a dangerous guy.
And he's
so I'd
he's
love to see
fast
that
as
fight.
well.
Yeah.
So that would be an exciting fight. They're
And
almost
physically big.
They're almost doppelgangers of each other.
Yeah.
Tubbs is a little older,
Yeah.
but they would almost be fighting the same guy. Fast hands, strong guys. And that was a fight that was made.
Right.
So it should
Both
be
guys
easy
agreed
to make
it, right.
again.
But what a way to close out the year, right? So James went 4-0 this year with 2 first-round stoppages, inside a minute, both of those stoppages, and then 2 6-round, what I
Against
imagine.
solid opponents.
2 6-round unanimous decisions, most likely.
Yeah.
So he got his rounds in this year. He still proved, he can get guys out of there.
And we've yet to see him in trouble.
extreme fashion.
Let's remember that. There has not been a fight yet where, he had the adversity of digging back.
Right. And I did
right.
think at the end of the fight with Steve, he was looking a little tired. I thought his conditioning looked even better tonight.
Yeah.
How about a round of applause for both of these competitors? We go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Eddie Scunzio scores the fight 59-53, whereas Kevin Hope and Martha Tremblay score the fight 60-52. For your winner, via unanimous decision, James Perkins.
Yeah.
As you'd expect,
and
outside of, I don't know what round a judge felt James lost.
I am completely oblivious to give literally more than 2 seconds of that fight to anybody but James Perkins.
Right.
But the right guy won in big fashion.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's why you have 3 judges. Right?
Yeah.